Nintendo is known for being very litigious. If anybody gets close to infringing on their copyright, they will sue you. They sue individuals, they sue companies, they sue anybody who they deem to be infringing on their copyright. Now, a lot of people heavily criticize them for this. I think it's a little too far sometimes, for sure, but also I think that there might be a little bit of a cultural difference there. Nintendo is a Japanese company, so I don't really know the culture that well. But Nintendo is now suing the United States government. Let's get into this Polygon article here. Nintendo sues US government over Donald Trump's illegal tariffs. Nintendo filed suit against the US government and multiple government officials on Friday over President Donald Trump's illegal collection of tariffs, attempting to claim the prompt refund with interest of duties paid over the past year. The suit filed in the United States Court of Internal Trade named Scott Bessent, Secretary of Treasury, Kristi Noem, the now former Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, Jameson Greer, U.S. Trade Representative, Rodney Scott, U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, and Howard Lutnick, Secretary of Commerce, as defendants in the case. Nintendo's lawsuit against the U.S. government was first reported by Aftermath. Nintendo's suit focuses on unlawful imposition of tariffs founded on Trump's executive order that invoked the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977 and the Supreme Court's recent ruling that struck down the IEEPA duties. Nintendo's suit says the company has standing to sue because it is the importer of record for goods that were subject to the IEEPA duties. So, what does this mean? I think it's pretty clear, but basically Nintendo is trying to recuperate the funds that were taken in these tariffs, right? The tariffs are a big thing. I don't need to get into it too much. Don't want to get super political here, but personally, I don't have an issue with Nintendo suing the United States government over this. I think that this may be controversial, but whether or not you agree with whether or not Trump should have been allowed to do the tariffs, the fact that the Supreme Court said he wasn't allowed to do the tariffs means that I don't fault Nintendo for suing, if that makes sense. Not because of any political affiliation, just because that's what the Supreme Court said. So Nintendo, yeah, sure, sue. Where I'm going to take issue with this is depending on how the suit goes. If Nintendo wins the suit, which I think they may, and they get their refunds from the tariffs, I'm going to need a couple things from Nintendo, because in response to the tariffs, Nintendo jacked up prices of their hardware for multiple things. I will need, at the very least, those prices to come back down, or else I'm going to be like kind of pissed off, right? I bought my Switch 2 when the tariffs were in place. Now the Switch 2 itself wasn't affected, but I also bought a Pro controller, which was, and I know lots of people did as well, buying second controller sets, Pro controllers, the camera, all kinds of stuff. Got a price hike because of these tariffs, and if we don't see those prices go back down, what the fuck was the point of suing to recuperate this money from the tariffs? You passed it along to the customers. Now, if they do that and they bring the prices back down, I won't be mad at them, but I also think there should be some sort of compensation for the people who still stood by them and bought their product when the prices were increased because of these tariffs. I had to spend extra money. They got the money back. Okay, you brought the prices back down. That's great. They should bring the prices back down. But also, I still paid that extra money. You passed that charge off on me. I paid the extra charge, and you got your money back. Now, it wouldn't be unfounded for them to do something as a form of repayment for anybody who had bought Switch 2 or accessories during the time when the tariffs were on. During the 3DS era, they decreased the price of the system, and then they rolled out special benefits for everybody who bought the system when it was the higher price. So it wouldn't be unheard of for them to do something like that again because of these tariffs. I'm not super confident that they will, and personally, I'm not going to be here and say that they need to do something grand or really anything. I mean, it would be nice for them to do some sort of reimbursement. I don't need cash or anything, but like, yeah, throw a little something my way because I stood by you, and everyone else who stood by you when you increased the prices, and now you're double dipping on it. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, it wouldn't be unheard of, but not necessarily going to happen. Personally, I think that they are likely to win this suit because the Supreme Court did rule that it was unconstitutional to enact those tariffs. So it only makes sense that Nintendo would be able to recuperate those funds. I'm not a law expert, but I could technically see this them losing this suit based on them passing the cost on to the customers. Like, basically, they didn't really have to pay anything and the consumers paid. But again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a law expert. So don't take anything I say to mean anything as far as interpretation of law. If they lose, then they lose. I don't expect anything from them if they lose. But if they win, I'm gonna need them to at least bring the prices back down. It would be fucked up for them to win this suit, get all that money back, and then not bring the prices of the hardware back down to what it was pre-tariff. That doesn't make any sense. Personally, I think that they're going to win, like I said, and I think that when they win, they will not bring the prices down, nor will they give any kickbacks to players who bought anything during the time when the prices were increased. If they win the suit and prices don't come down, you can bet your ass I'm going to either make a video, a community post, or a YouTube short talking about it, because I think that would be fucking wacko if they didn't. But, you know, companies are greedy, and Nintendo especially lately has been doing things that a lot of people seem to think are extra greedy. I'm over the Nintendo doom and gloom personally. I've got the Switch 2. I love the fuck out of that thing, all right? And I'm not ashamed of it. I don't think it's too expensive. I don't think the games are too expensive for the most part. I think it's great. Pokopia just came out, and I've been playing a little bit of that. I bought it for my wife because she likes that kind of shit more than I do. But I've been playing a little bit of it, and let me tell you, it is pretty fucking good. So I might have a full review coming out of that. I might not, no promises, but I might. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about this Nintendo lawsuit. Do you think they're going to win? Do you think they're going to lose? Do you think if they do win, anything will come of it other than Nintendo just makes more sweet, sweet fucking cash? Let me know what you think in the comments. Drop a like if you feel like it. Drop a dislike if you feel like it. Subscribe if you want to. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.